Hi, today we're going to talk about the third conditional. Firstly, let's recap on the other conditionals that we've looked at. The zero conditional is formed by using if with a present tense for the condition, and the result clause is also in the present tense. We use it to talk about facts and general truths. For example, if you don't water plants, they die. The first conditional is formed by using if with the present tense, but this time the result is in the future. We use it to talk about real possibilities. For example, if it rains tomorrow, I will stay at home. The second conditional is formed by using if with a past tense, and the result is formed with would and the infinitive. It's used for unlikely, imaginary, or impossible situations in the present. For example, if it were raining, I would stay at home. But it's not raining, so I'm going out. Okay, so it's unlikely or impossible in the current situation. Now, let's add on the third conditional. We form that with if and the past perfect. The result is would with the perfect infinitive. The perfect infinitive is formed with have plus the past participle. Okay, we use the third conditional for unlikely, impossible, or imaginary situations in the past. So the second conditional is unlikely, imaginary, or impossible in the present, whereas the third conditional, we're talking about the past. For example, if John had studied hard enough, he would have passed his exams. But he didn't study hard in the past. So he didn't pass his exam in the past. Okay. So, for example, if John had woken up earlier, he would have come on time. If I had known his address, I would have visited while I was in London. Okay, the first part of the sentence with the if is the condition clause, and it is formed with the past perfect. The second part of the sentence is the result or the main clause, and we form that with would, might, or could with the perfect infinitive. Okay, the difference is would is used when the result is more certain. For example, if Sam had asked Sarah to dance, she would have said yes. He didn't ask her to dance, so she couldn't say yes, but she would have if he had asked her. Might is when the result is less certain. It might or might not have happened. So if Sam had asked Sarah to dance, she might have said yes. She might have said no. We're not sure. And could is used to talk about possibilities or abilities. For example, if I had won the lottery last week, I could have bought a private jet. I could have bought a house. I could have traveled the world. There are different options, different possibilities. Now, what's the difference between the second and third conditional? A lot of people do still get confused. Let's look at this example. If Laura studied, she would pass her exam. This is not likely to happen because Laura is too lazy to study. She doesn't like studying. But if Laura had studied, she would have passed her exam. This is imaginary because Laura didn't study, so she failed. She didn't pass the exam. Both of these conditionals refer to imaginary situations. The second conditional is impossible in the present. the likelihood of it happening in the future is very, very small. Whereas the third conditional is completely imaginary because we imagine the result in the past if the situation had been different. So the second conditional refers to the present or the future, whereas the third refers to the past. Let's do a bit of practice. Here are some situations. Some are in the present, some are in the past. So you need to decide if you need to use a second conditional or a third conditional. The beginning of the sentence is given for you, and you need to decide how to form the rest of the conditional sentence. Pause here for a few minutes, have a think about it, and then continue to hear the answers. So let's check. In the first one, I don't have much money, so I don't travel a lot. The conditional sentence would be, if I had more money, I would travel a lot. It's a second conditional sentence because we're talking about how your situation now could be different. She left the house 10 minutes late, so she missed the bus. If she had left the house 10 minutes earlier, she wouldn't have missed the bus. Third conditional. We're thinking about how the situation might have been different if she had done something differently in the past. The third one. He doesn't have a job, which is why he can't buy a house. If he had a job, he would be able to buy a house. You could also say, if he had a job, he could buy a house. He had an accident because he wasn't careful. If he had been careful, he wouldn't have had an accident. I didn't try hard enough, so I didn't get the job. If I had tried harder, I would have got the job. They can't live in this city because they can't find a job here. They could live in this city if they found a job here. I hope that helped. Thank you for watching.